Dixon. Oh, here he goes. My goodness.
They may not like the cold,
He's taking it the distance. And Joe is going all the way. Touchdown.
but they represent the green and gold.
Love to Watson. Going deep, has a man. It's caught. Watson is in. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Welcome to the West Coast Cheeseheads Podcast.
Welcome, Packer family, to another episode of the West Coast Cheeseheads Podcast. And this is our first video platform for all of you listeners out there. We've been wanting to do this since the start of us making this podcast, but there's been some things along the way to try to get it going. And now we finally said, when's a better time to start than game one of the regular season? And so we are really excited to be a part of this. As you know, my name is Matteo, and we have my co-host Joe. And thank you for joining. This week, we went up against a Chicago Bears team, and we still own them. Yes, we do, baby. I'm so happy to say it, all Bears fans. And if I could, I'd love to play the song for you guys. I'll see if I can get it into this video at some point. But the Bears still suck.
The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck.
Anyways, Joe, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Matteo. Week 1 victory is always a good thing to celebrate, especially it being against the Chicago Bears, our rivals in the NFC North. We showed a great performance today, so I'm very excited about that. All smiles over here. Definitely all smiles over here.
Definitely all smiles. And I think I'm even more smiles with it because Jordan Love comes out his first opening season game as a starter. And what does he do? 245 yards. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a passer rating of 123.2. He killed this game. I mean, there were some ups and downs. I'm not going to say that he was perfect. Especially, he actually claimed it along with LaFleur in the press conference, but his 2-minute drive, he ended up getting sacked on that 2-minute drive. It really drove down some stuff. Almost didn't get them into a position for the field goal to put the game at 10-6 at that point, but they did end up doing it. So there are a couple things that he needs to clean up. But for his first appearance to go into Soldier Field and perform that well, I am more than happy, and I am rocking the love. All you need is love, baby. How you feeling with that, Joe?
All of our listeners know that I am the biggest critic of Jordan Love. I've never been the biggest fan of him. Was not pleased when the Packers actually chose him in the draft 3 or 4 years ago. Don't remember what year it was. Did not really think he was going to turn out to be anything of relevance. Today he showed me something. I was very impressed with Jordan Love. I was very impressed with his composure out there on the field. I was very impressed with some of the throws that he made, especially that touchdown pass. The second touchdown pass to Romeo Doubs was perfection. Couldn't have been placed in a better spot than it was. Jordan Love was impressive today, and there's really not a bad thing that I could say about the guy right now. So he definitely has my applause today.
Yeah, and I think you have an applause from all of the Packer Nation out there. So thank you, Jordan Love. We're looking forward to the rest of this season. Now, we have to move on to another key highlighted person in this game. Aaron Jones. Showtime, baby. Showtime was looking really good today. He ended up having a really good 51-yard run that ended up ultimately setting up for the second touchdown. 3rd and goal. Aaron Jones finishes off from what he had an amazing run, 51-yard run, brought it into the end zone, and got the score in. Not to mention, that was only one of 2 touchdowns that he had, because then there was another awesome, risky 4th and 3 call that the Packers ended up having. But Jordan Love connects with Aaron Jones, and he runs it into the end zone for another touchdown. Aaron Jones looked great today, and I'm really hoping that the injury that he sustained isn't going to affect anything further in the rest of the season.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say that the hamstring injury that he got on the second touchdown, on his receiving touchdown, I'm really hoping it's nothing serious. The early reports that I'm seeing out of the Packer camp is that it's not too serious and that we should expect him to play next week. But, you know, hamstring injuries are nagging. They could last a week. They could last a month. They could last even longer than that. You did see the trainers stretching him out on the sideline but right before they deemed him that he wasn't going to come back into the game. So the fact that they were working on him, trying to get him back in there, trying to get his leg into shape was a good sign, I think. So I'm not expecting him to be out very long this week. He might miss a practice or two, but I believe that he should play next week. Going to talk about his performance this week, it was incredible to see him have a great week one. It's kind of a breath of fresh air to see him playing as well as he did. That 50-yard 1-yard run that you're talking was actually a receiving play. It was a screen pass, a play action throwback screen pass, which was beautiful. But for him to get down the field and then them give him the opportunity to finish off that drive to put it into the end zone was awesome to see. That receiving touchdown that he had was perfectly placed pass by Jordan Love, and he just outran everybody, even with him pulling up about 5 yards until the end zone with the hamstring. What I got to say, though, is that when we started utilizing Aaron Jones as a receiver more than just a running back, you can see the offense start opening up a bit. You can see it starting to spread open. You can see the defense having to question what they were doing. They couldn't zone in on Aaron Jones running the ball and just trying to run up the gut. It was definitely a very dynamic offense once they started using Aaron Jones outside and started throwing him the ball instead of just handing it to him. Yeah,
and we were missing Christian Watson today, and I think a lot of people were actually suspecting that it was going to be a big hit on us, which in turnaround it is. I mean, he is our number one wide receiver, but everybody showed up today in a very well-mannered way. I mean, we had Romeo Doubs with 2 touchdowns. We had Jaden Reed. He was out there making plays. Dontavian Wick was out there making plays. Samori Torre had an amazing catch somewhere in the second quarter. And so everybody did show up today, but I agree, you can see the difference when Aaron Jones is out there receiving and catching balls.
Yeah, the good thing that I got to say about Jordan Love, though, is during the first half, I believe you can tell that we were missing Christian Watson. You can tell that the offense wasn't as fluid out there without Christian Watson on the field. Second half is a different story. We started again using Aaron Jones more as a receiver and also handing the ball off to him, but changing up the offensive schemes, using him as a receiver as well, and that was able to open up the offense a little bit. What I was going to say about Jordan Love, though, is he, no pun intended, he spread the love around. There was 8 receivers that had targets today. Obviously, Aaron Jones. Luke Musgrave had 4 targets today. Jaden Reed had 5. Dobbs had 5. Torrey 3. A.J. Dillon had 3. Heath had 1, and Wicks had 2. He was spreading the love around very well, which doesn't allow the defense to hone in on one receiver. It makes the offense very unpredictable. So that was one of the more impressive things that I saw from Jordan Love today.
Yeah. And let's see how we can go up against that Atlanta team, because Atlanta looked really good today. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that game. But now I want to move on to the defense too, because, the final score of this game was 38-20. Okay. But I have to say, I think that 20 points doesn't even show the justification as to how well the defense played today. I mean, the coverage was on point. Justin Fields was running around there. As he's well known, this guy's a running quarterback. Could he really throw the ball as much as he did? No, he couldn't. Not against our cornerbacks. We really had the coverage out there. And Quay Walker with the pick 6. I mean, he was resilient. I mean, at one point, I saw him go up against somebody, and he just threw an elbow in there and kept on moving. I thought he was going to go down right there, but he just didn't want to stop. He wanted to keep moving. He needed to bring that thing to the end zone, which he did, and we got a 6 out of that. 7 with the extra kick.
Yeah, it was very exciting to see the defense perform as well as it did. We were all, me and you were both talking in all our episodes before week 1 that our defense would be the catalyst to our success this season, and they really stepped up today. The 20 points, I believe, my opinion is exactly the same as yours. The 20 points doesn't even justify how good our Packer defense played today. Our defensive line put pressure on Justin Fields constantly throughout the day. Lucas Van Ness had a huge tackle on Justin Fields when he got outside the pocket and took him down by himself, which was, it kind of ignited the defense once more. The pick 6 was amazing to see. Our cornerbacks and our safeties were locked down today. They had the one mishap on the blown coverage to Mooney that Justin Fields threw over the top of our defense, and they scored the receiving touchdown that way. But other than that, it was almost perfection out of our defense today.
Yeah, and I think that Jordan Love ended up stating a quote at the end of the game. He was talking with Aaron Andrews, and his one big quote that he ended up stating was, "We just let the world know what we're all about." And I think that's a fair statement. A lot of people really thought of counting us out when Aaron Rodgers ended up leaving, taking some of our top guys with him. But I think we really did just let the NFC and the NFL know what we are about.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm very happy with the performance that we had today. I'm very excited that we came out with the W. It's a great way to start the season. No better way. Starting the season off with a loss is really can demoralize the team. So starting off with a W is huge. I really want to keep this in perspective, though. As happy as I am, as excited with the win that I am, I really want to keep this win in perspective. This is against the Chicago Bears. We know that the Chicago Bears are not one of the top teams in the league. They're actually one of the bottom feeders. They haven't been good in a very long time. So let's keep it in perspective. Let's be excited about the W. Let's be excited that Jordan Love played well and that our receivers played well and our defense was stellar. But let's also keep in perspective that this was against the Chicago Bears and not let this win go to our heads a little bit. And let's get ready for those Atlanta Falcons, because they are going to be a much better team than the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, they are. They're definitely going to be a better team. Enjoy the win. It's always hard to win in the NFL, so go ahead, appreciate the win, but starting tomorrow, time to get back to business.
That's right.
All right. Well, that does it for this episode, Packer family. So thank you so much for joining us. We are truly appreciative of each one of you for joining us. And please look forward to more of these episodes as they come along. And you can follow us at West Coast Cheeseheads Podcast on Facebook, Instagram at WC Cheeseheads, or Twitter at WC Cheeseheads. We truly appreciate it and thank each of you for joining us on this West Coast Cheeseheads Podcast. We may not like the cold, but certainly still rep the green and gold. Go Pack Go. Take care.